Why chosen ones were born into toxic families. It's a huge gift. Out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars. These words by Khalil Gibran remind us that our greatest challenges often hold the keys to our transformation. Have you ever wondered why you, as a chosen one, were born into a family that felt more like a battlefield than a sanctuary? What if your soul hand-picked this path, not as punishment, but as a powerful opportunity for growth and awakening? In today's video, we'll explore the profound wisdom hidden within the pain of toxic family dynamics and how it shapes the chosen ones into resilient, enlightened beings. Share your thoughts in the comments. How has your family shaped your spiritual journey? Let's dive in together. 1. Toxic families as catalysts. Toxic families are like fire. They scorch, they hurt, and they leave deep scars. But they also forge you into something unbreakable. Just as fire tempers steel, the adversity you face in a toxic family tempers your soul, stripping away illusions of an easy or fair life and forcing you to confront raw, unfiltered truths about the human condition. For chosen ones, this fire isn't random, it's intentional. You were placed in this crucible because your purpose demands resilience, clarity, and strength that only such trials can provide. Chosen ones are not here to live ordinary lives. They are here to break cycles, to heal generational wounds, and to transcend the limitations that others accept as normal. The spiritual awakening you experience amidst this pain reveals your role as a beacon of transformation. But why would your soul choose such a daunting path? The answer lies in the spiritual contracts made before you entered this world. Your soul understood that only through struggle could you access the divine strength needed to fulfill your purpose. Toxic families are the perfect training ground because they challenge every part of you: your patience, your self-worth, your ability to forgive, and your capacity to rise above. They strip away the superficial layers of identity and force you to discover your true, unshakable self. Without the fires of these early experiences, you might never uncover the profound spiritual gifts hidden within you. Think about the generational cycles you were born into. Perhaps there was anger, betrayal, or neglect passed down through decades. You were placed in the midst of this storm not to perpetuate it, but to be the one who stops it. You were born to bring healing, to end patterns of toxicity, and to show others that change is possible. This is no small task. It requires spiritual strength, heightened awareness, and the ability to transform pain into wisdom. In a world that often glorifies surface-level achievements, your journey is different. It is deep, internal, and rooted in divine purpose. Modern life often distracts us with noise and shallow pursuits, but those born into toxic families know better. You've experienced firsthand the emotional and spiritual void that material success cannot fill. This awareness gives you a unique perspective, one that allows you to see beyond the surface and focus on what truly matters: healing, growth, and connection. As a chosen one, your mission isn't just about personal success. It's about uplifting others, showing them through your example that even the deepest wounds can heal. If you're wondering how to begin this transformation, start with forgiveness, not for their sake, but for yours. Forgiveness breaks the chains of resentment and frees your spirit to grow. Next, embrace your journey of spiritual awakening. Reflect on how the challenges you've faced have prepared you for your purpose. Seek wisdom from within, trust your intuition, and surround yourself with people who uplift and support your higher calling. Finally, remember that every step you take toward healing yourself also heals the generations that came before you and those who will come after. Yes, toxic families burn. They hurt deeply, but they also forge the chosen ones into warriors of the light. Your scars are not just reminders of what you have endured. They are proof of your strength and your willingness to rise. Let this understanding empower you to embrace your spiritual awakening, knowing that you were chosen not because it was easy, but because you were strong enough for this purpose. The fire did not burn you, it transformed you. Comment below, "I choose to awaken," as your commitment to this amazing journey. Two, generational toxicity. The toxicity you were born into is not a coincidence. It's deeply rooted in the threads of your ancestry, woven together by generations of unhealed wounds, suppressed emotions, and unconscious behaviors. This pattern has been passed down like an invisible inheritance, influencing the lives of those who came before you and threatening to shape those who come after. But here's the profound truth. You, my friend, are not here by accident. You were chosen to be the breaker of chains, the one to confront and heal what others could not. You weren't born into a toxic family to be consumed by the chaos. You were born to transform it. That's not a burden. It's a sacred gift. It's a call to rise above the pain and trauma, not just for yourself, but for your ancestors and descendants alike. Think about it. Have you ever wondered why you feel different? Why you don't fully fit in, even among those closest to you? It's because you were never meant to. Your purpose is not to blend into a system that's broken, but to challenge and rebuild it. You've likely noticed patterns in your family, whether it's a cycle of anger, fear, scarcity, or shame, that seem impossible to break. But the fact that you see them is proof that you are already beginning the work. Awareness is the first step to healing, and you possess that gift. Take a moment to consider this. Could it be that your spirituality, your journey of self-discovery, and your spiritual growth are tools to not only transform yourself, but to rewrite your family's story? Let me share a story to bring this idea closer to home. A young woman named Maya grew up in a family where silence was the norm. Problems were never discussed, emotions were bottled up, and vulnerability was seen as weakness. As Maya grew older, she realized how much this affected her relationships and her sense of self-worth. Through her spiritual awakening, she began to understand that the silence she inherited was a coping mechanism passed down from her grandmother, who had lived through war and poverty. Maya decided to break the pattern. She started small, having honest conversations with her family and seeking therapy to process her pain. Over time, her openness inspired her mother to do the same. Maya didn't just heal herself, she created a ripple effect that transformed her entire family dynamic. The lesson here is powerful. Being born into a toxic family isn't a punishment, it's an opportunity. You are a bridge between the past and the future, carrying the wisdom and strength needed to shift the trajectory of your lineage. This work won't be easy, but it will be worth it. The spiritual path is often challenging, but the rewards are immense not just for you, but for everyone connected to you. When you choose to heal, you're not only setting yourself free, you're breaking the cycle for those who came before you and those who will follow. Remember, chosen one, your greatest gift is your ability to transform pain into purpose. And through your spiritual growth, you are creating a legacy of love, healing, and resilience. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who might need these great values. Let's continue this conversation and go deeper into what these values really mean. 3. Experiencing to break cycles. To truly grasp why you, as a chosen one, were born into a toxic family, we must first understand the profound spiritual wisdom hidden within this experience. Think about it. How can you heal something you've never understood? How can you rise above challenges you've never faced? Life placed you in the heart of the storm, not to break you, but to transform you, to awaken you to your purpose, and to teach you how to navigate through life's turbulent waters. Consider this. Every wound, every tear, and every hardship you've endured in your family wasn't meant to drown you. It was meant to teach you how to swim with resilience, grace, and strength. The toxic environment wasn't your punishment, it was your classroom. It was the forge where your spiritual armor was crafted. Now, take a moment to reflect. When you think about your family, what do you see? Is it anger, control, neglect, manipulation? But here's a deeper, more important question. Where do you see those same energies within yourself? This isn't about blame, it's about understanding. Often, the very traits we resent in others are mirrored in us, buried within, waiting to be acknowledged and healed. As Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. The toxic cycles of your family are not your destiny. They are your invitation to break free and rewrite the script. You see, chosen ones are not born into perfect circumstances because perfection doesn't create growth. Diamonds are forged under pressure, and you, my friend, are no exception. Your family's toxicity was the pressure needed to reveal your brilliance. The neglect taught you empathy. The control taught you to reclaim your power. The manipulation taught you discernment. You were chosen not because life would be easy, but because you have the strength to rise where others might fall. Isn't it fascinating that the very pain you've endured has given you tools for your spiritual awakening? The anger you witnessed taught you the value of peace. The neglect showed you the importance of love and connection. And the chaos gave you the clarity to see through illusions and find your truth. But let me ask you, how will you use this wisdom? Will you let the cycle continue, or will you stand as the one to end it? Remember, chosen ones are not just survivors, they are trailblazers. Your purpose is not only to heal yourself, but to heal your lineage, to break generational curses, and to create a new legacy of love, light, and authenticity. Maya Angelou once said, "I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it." Will you allow your family's toxicity to reduce you, or will you transform it into a gift? I would love to hear your thoughts on this. What is your perspective on the importance of this value? Share your insights and let's continue this conversation. 4. The gift in dysfunction. Toxic families, as painful as they may be, often hold the mirror to our deepest selves, reflecting truths that we may be reluctant to confront. These relationships are not merely hardships, but transformative catalysts. Within the chaos and dysfunction lies an opportunity for profound spiritual growth. When you are born into such an environment, it's as though your soul has chosen the fire of adversity to burn away illusions, teaching you resilience and authenticity. This is the spiritual gift in the dysfunction, a chance to uncover hidden strengths, confront generational wounds, and lead your lineage into healing. The tension and conflict you experience force you to awaken spiritually, developing qualities like compassion, wisdom, and emotional intelligence that may have remained dormant in more peaceful surroundings. Yet, let's not sugarcoat the experience or diminish its difficulty. Growing up in a toxic family is like walking through a battlefield without armor, requiring incredible fortitude, courage, and the ability to endure pain that often feels unrelenting. It challenges you in ways few others can understand. Rejection, betrayal, and abandonment are not just scars, they're crucibles that forge your spiritual awakening. Through these struggles, you develop an extraordinary ability to transform pain into purpose. The wounds inflicted by toxic relationships are an invitation to go inward, break patterns, and rise above dysfunction. When you confront these patterns, you're not just healing yourself, you're breaking chains that have bound your family for generations. This is why chosen ones carry such a heavy burden. It's not just about personal growth, but elevating the entire family line. In the modern world, this spiritual transformation is especially significant. Toxicity in families is often amplified by societal pressures, comparisons, and unresolved trauma passed down through generations. Many people numb themselves to this pain, but chosen ones are called to feel it deeply and respond differently. You're not here to perpetuate cycles of dysfunction, but to disrupt them with awareness and love. The spiritual awakening triggered by these challenges allows you to rewrite the story, not just for yourself, but for future generations. You become the person who stands firm, who refuses to repeat the patterns of emotional neglect or manipulation, and who embodies healing and authenticity. No matter how difficult this journey may be, it is important to remember that you are not alone. There are countless others walking the same path, turning their pain into strength. The key is to embrace the lessons while setting boundaries and prioritizing your health. Let the wounds of the past become the wisdom of the present. You may not have chosen your circumstances, but your soul chooses your mission to rise up, awaken spiritually, and lead by example. By doing so, you not only honor your journey, but you pave the way for those who come after you. So the next time you feel weighed down by the burdens of your upbringing, remember, you were chosen for this path because of your great strength and potential. This is not just a challenge, it is a testament to the greatness within you. Use your pain as fuel for transformation, and watch your light turn even the darkest corners into a legacy of healing. Comment below. I choose to move forward, and let's go on this journey together. 5. Responding with love. Being born into a toxic family is not a curse. It's a profound spiritual opportunity for growth, a hidden gift wrapped in challenges that may not be obvious at first glance. Every difficult interaction, every moment of pain, and every confrontation with their negativity is a chance for you to break generational cycles and choose a higher path. When you respond to their harsh words with understanding instead of judgment, or to their indifference with compassion rather than anger, you are rewriting a script that has likely played out for generations. Pause and ask yourself, what if their toxicity isn't about you at all? What if it's a reflection of their unhealed wounds, their inability to face their own pain? And what if, by not taking their behavior personally, you could step into a place of spiritual strength and emotional freedom? Let me share a modern example to bring this to life. Think about the workplace. You may have encountered a boss or co-worker who lashes out unfairly or spreads negativity. It's easy to take it personally and react with frustration. But what happens when you take a moment to see beyond their behavior? Maybe they are carrying the stress of a crumbling personal life or battling insecurities they've never voiced. When you respond calmly, with compassion, you often disarm them and create a space where understanding can begin. Now take this principle and apply it to your family dynamics. Their toxic actions might come from unresolved trauma, fear, or an inability to love themselves. By choosing love, patience, and forgiveness, you stop the endless cycle of pain and open the door for healing not just for you, but for those around you. Think about this deeply. What would change if you saw your toxic family not as adversaries, but as unintentional teachers of resilience and self-love? What if their inability to nurture you was the very push you needed to become the nurturing whole person you are destined to be? It's not about excusing their behavior, but understanding its roots and refusing to let it dictate your worth. You were not born into this family to suffer endlessly. You were born into it to rise above, to show that love is stronger than anger, and to heal wounds that run deeper than words. Spiritual growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. It's born out of challenges that push us to become the best versions of ourselves. So, the next time your family's toxicity rises, take a moment to reflect. How can I respond differently? How can I choose understanding over resentment? Remember, by doing so, you're not just helping yourself, you're breaking chains, ending cycles, and setting a new standard of love and light for generations to come. Your greatest lesson here is this: toxicity isn't your burden to carry, it's your chance to transform. Keep choosing love, and you'll find that the gift of your situation was never about them. It was always about unlocking the divine strength within you. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others. 6. Transformation through pain. Shifting perspectives can be one of the most profound steps on your journey of spiritual wisdom. When you begin to see your family not as adversaries, but as wounded souls navigating life with their own limitations, the world starts to look different. Imagine what could change if you stopped asking, "Why are they hurting me?" and instead asked, "What are they here to teach me?" That single shift in perspective holds the key to unlocking one of the greatest gifts you were born with as a chosen one. Your family's toxicity, no matter how painful, is not a curse or a punishment. It's an opportunity, an invitation to rise beyond the confines of their projections, expectations, and unhealed wounds. It's a calling to remember the unshakable strength, compassion, and divine light that exists within you. This path isn't about carrying their pain as your own. It's about learning how to alchemize it into growth and freedom. Think of the words of Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor who wrote in Man's Search for Meaning. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Toxic family dynamics, though difficult, are fertile ground for this transformation. Every hurtful word, every dismissive action, and every rejection becomes a mirror reflecting back the parts of you that long to be healed. Have you ever paused to consider why your soul chose to be born into such a family? What if the very traits you admire most in yourself, your resilience, empathy, and wisdom, were forged in the fires of those challenging experiences? The truth is, chosen ones are not given easy lives because their purpose isn't ordinary. You were not placed in this family to perpetuate cycles of pain, but to break them. Your presence serves as a catalyst for change, not only for yourself, but also for generations that follow. When you embrace this calling, you embody spiritual wisdom, transcending the need to seek approval or validation from those who cannot offer it. Instead, you anchor yourself in the knowledge that your worth is inherent, not contingent on anyone else's recognition. As you walk this path, ask yourself, what wounds in my family am I here to heal? How can I respond with love and boundaries rather than anger or resentment? And most importantly, how can I transform these experiences into fuel for my growth? In the words of Maya Angelou, I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. This is your truth as a chosen one. You can honor the pain without becoming it. You can witness their struggles without absorbing them. And you can rise above their limitations, not by rejecting them, but by loving yourself enough to heal. The journey is not easy, but it is sacred. And every time you choose to forgive, to let go, and to reclaim your power, you are living proof of what it means to be a chosen one. Remember, spiritual wisdom isn't about escaping pain, it's about transforming it. So, as you reflect on your family and their role in your life, ask yourself, what part of me is being called to grow? How can I use these experiences to step fully into my power and purpose? Your answers may just reveal the profound gift hidden within the very relationships that once brought you the most pain. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. What is your perspective on the importance of this value? Share your insights, and let's continue this conversation. 7. Separating from the family narrative. Separating from the family narrative is one of the most challenging but transformative steps on the journey of spiritual awakening. For many chosen ones, being born into a toxic family is not a punishment, but a sacred gift designed to shape their spiritual path. It begins with understanding that the toxicity you've experienced is not your fault. The dysfunction, manipulation, or chaos you grew up with was never a reflection of your worth or capabilities. Instead, it served as a crucible, a fiery forge where the purity of your soul could rise above the smoke and ash of inherited pain. Breaking free from this narrative requires immense courage, because it means dismantling the very foundations upon which you were raised. Yet, as you start to question long-held beliefs, confront harmful generational patterns, and shed identities imposed upon you, you step into your true essence. This journey is not just about rejecting the negativity of the past, but about reclaiming the power it sought to suppress. The spiritual gift of being born into such circumstances lies in your ability to rewrite the story, not just for yourself, but for the lineage that comes after you. Toxic family dynamics often perpetuate themselves through unspoken rules, unhealed wounds, and unchallenged cycles. But as a chosen one, you have been called to break that cycle, to become the spiritual awakening within your family tree. It is not an easy task, but it is a profoundly rewarding one. By refusing to let these patterns define your future, you inspire others within your family or beyond to see that change is possible. In the context of modern life, this process can feel particularly isolating. Many people feel pressured to maintain appearances, honor traditions, or stick to family norms, even when those norms are damaging. Society often reinforces the idea that family is sacred at all costs, leaving many feeling trapped in toxic dynamics. But as a chosen one, you understand that true sacredness comes from healing, not from suffering in silence. By stepping away, you do not betray your family. Instead, you offer them the greatest gift, the possibility of growth, reflection, and eventual healing. In separating from the narrative, you also separate from the blame and guilt that toxicity often instills. Reclaiming your identity might mean setting boundaries, finding mentors or spiritual communities that uplift you, or even creating your own family of choice. Remember, every time you stand firm in your truth, you pave the way for others to do the same. The process of breaking free is not just for you. It echoes through generations and ripples into the spiritual consciousness of humanity itself. You are not merely healing for yourself. You are a vessel for divine transformation. Let this understanding fuel your courage as you rewrite the story not as a victim of toxicity, but as a spiritual warrior who turned their pain into power. In this journey, one of the most practical pieces of advice is to focus on small, consistent steps of self-reclamation. Start by identifying beliefs or habits that no longer serve you and replacing them with actions rooted in love, peace, and authenticity. Surround yourself with people who reflect the energy you wish to cultivate. Seek spiritual practices, be it meditation, journaling, or prayer, that allow you to reconnect with your divine essence. And most importantly, give yourself grace. Healing is a journey, not a destination, and every step you take away from the family narrative is a step closer to your highest spiritual awakening. As you continue this path, remember that the chosen ones were never meant to walk the easy road. Your struggles are your credentials, and your triumphs will be your testimony. You were born into this life not to succumb to its challenges, but to rise above them, transforming every hardship into a beacon of light for others. This is your gift, your purpose, and your power. Embrace it with the knowledge that your story is not defined by where you began, but by the spiritual awakening that led you to reclaim your destiny. If this message speaks to you, take it a step further and share it with someone who might need this reminder. Together we can build connections rooted in honesty and respect. 8. The power of awareness. Have you ever stopped to think about why you were born into a family that felt more like a battlefield than a haven? For the chosen ones, this isn't just a coincidence, it's a divine strategy for spiritual growth. The power of awareness is your greatest ally in this journey. When you begin to recognize the toxic patterns, limiting beliefs, and painful narratives that have shaped your family's dynamic, you open the door to transformation. These patterns are not reflections of your worth or destiny. They are external influences passed down from one generation to the next, often rooted in fear, trauma, or survival. Think of it like a relay race, where the baton is not just passed, but is weighed down with unresolved pain and unspoken truths. As a chosen one, your role is to become aware of this inheritance and decide that it stops with you. But awareness isn't passive. It demands courage, reflection, and the willingness to confront what has been hidden. Consider the story of a young woman named Maya, who grew up in a home filled with constant criticism and emotional manipulation. For years, she believed she was unworthy of love and success, because those were the messages subtly woven into her upbringing. But one day, during a conversation with a friend about spirituality, she had an epiphany. Her family's behavior was a mirror of their unresolved pain, not her inadequacy. This realization marked the beginning of her spiritual growth. Maya started journaling to identify the toxic beliefs she had absorbed and began replacing them with affirmations rooted in self-love and divine purpose. Over time, she noticed a profound change not only in how she saw herself, but also in how she interacted with her family. She stopped reacting to their negativity and started setting healthy boundaries. Her journey wasn't just about healing herself, it was about breaking a generational cycle, paving the way for a new legacy. Now let me ask you, have you noticed patterns in your family that seem to repeat, almost like a script? Do you feel like you're carrying burdens that aren't truly yours? This awareness is the first step toward liberation. When you begin to see these patterns for what they are, external constructs, rather than intrinsic truths, you reclaim your power. You start to see that you were chosen not to carry these burdens indefinitely, but to transform them into wisdom and strength. This is where the spiritual growth begins, in the decision to stop running on autopilot and start living with intention. Awareness is a gift, because it allows you to make different choices, to heal what others have ignored, and to rise above the circumstances that once defined you. The lesson here is simple, yet profound. Your worth is not determined by where you came from, but by where you choose to go. By becoming aware of the patterns in your family, you can break free and rewrite the story. This process of healing is not easy, but it is sacred, and it is your gift to yourself and future generations. Embrace your role as a chosen one, for you are the bridge between the past and the future, turning pain into purpose and limitation into liberation. In this awareness, you will find the keys to your spiritual awakening and the strength to step fully into your divine destiny. And if you feel inspired by this message, type "I trust the process" as a way to affirm your strength, patience, and commitment to growth. Let's grow together. Nine, healing and self-love. Have you ever wondered why you were born into a family that seemed to test every ounce of your patience, resilience, and faith? For chosen ones, being placed in a toxic family isn't a punishment. It's a divine assignment, a powerful gift meant to ignite your spiritual wisdom and awaken your higher purpose. Healing from such an environment requires deep self-love, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to rebuilding your sense of self. This isn't about blaming others or holding on to the pain inflicted upon you. It's about unlearning the harmful conditioning that was never yours to carry and reconnecting with your intrinsic value and divine power. As Maya Angelou once said, "You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them." Isn't that profound? It reminds us that healing is an act of rebellion against the narratives that sought to diminish us. When you take the brave step of choosing healing, you embark on a journey of transformation, shedding the layers of negativity that were projected onto you. Toxic family dynamics often force chosen ones to confront their shadows, to rise above cycles of emotional neglect, manipulation, or criticism, and to recognize that their worth has never been tied to how others treated them. Why is this so important for you, personally? Because every wound you heal becomes a light for others. Every chain you break liberates not only yourself, but the generations that come after you. Do you see how your struggle can transform into a legacy of strength and wisdom? Healing isn't easy. It requires discipline to silence the inner critic that was shaped by toxic conditioning. It demands courage to face the pain and say, "This will not define me." But here's the truth. Chosen ones like you were born to lead, to teach, and to inspire. And your ability to rise from such circumstances is proof of your divine resilience. The universe didn't place you in a difficult family to harm you. It placed you there because it knew your spirit could transform darkness into light. Have you ever thought of it this way? What if the very challenges you faced were the tools needed to sharpen your spiritual gifts? What if your family was not a curse, but a mirror reflecting what you were meant to transcend? As you rebuild your sense of self, you will discover the freedom that comes with reclaiming your power. Toxic families often teach chosen ones the most valuable lessons on how to set boundaries, trust your intuition, and cultivate self-worth. In the words of Carl Jung, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." Isn't that the essence of spiritual wisdom? To rise above the story written for you and craft one that reflects your true self. What choices will you make today to embody the person you were always meant to be? I would love to hear your thoughts on this. What is your perspective on the importance of this value? Share your insights and let's continue this conversation. 10. Breaking free and redefining freedom. Breaking free from the constraints of a toxic family dynamic and redefining the meaning of freedom is not about severing all ties or walking away with bitterness. It's about detaching emotionally and mentally from the narratives that no longer serve you. This journey of spiritual awakening teaches you to rise above the dysfunction and find your own truth, allowing you to live authentically and in alignment with who you were truly meant to be. True freedom isn't external. It's an internal transformation where you shift your focus from reacting to the negativity around you to cultivating a sense of peace and purpose within yourself. Your family's dysfunction, as painful as it may have been, serves as a profound mirror, reflecting the areas where you are called to grow, heal, and become the person you were destined to be. In today's world, where societal pressures and inherited family patterns can feel overwhelming, the ability to step back and observe these dynamics without becoming entangled is a superpower. Modern life constantly bombards us with comparisons, expectations, and generational wounds. Yet those who are spiritually awakened understand that their role is not to perpetuate the cycles, but to break them. This requires profound courage, as it means confronting uncomfortable truths and refusing to accept the stories others have written for you. The chosen ones are tasked with rewriting these narratives, turning past pain into a foundation for growth and resilience. It's about learning to stand firm in your identity while honoring your journey with grace and understanding. Instead of seeing toxic family dynamics as a weight, view them as spiritual training grounds. These challenges force you to develop empathy, patience, and self-awareness, qualities that are essential for your spiritual awakening. When you detach from the dysfunction not in anger, but with love and understanding, you free yourself from the energy of the past and create space for a brighter future. This is the essence of true freedom, reclaiming your inner power and letting go of the need to prove your worth to those who may never fully understand your journey. The truth is, their inability to see your light is not a reflection of your worth, but a limitation of their vision. In modern life, this concept is deeply relevant. Many people carry the weight of unresolved generational pain, feeling obligated to fit into molds that no longer serve them. The advice for those navigating these spiritual challenges is simple yet powerful. Focus on your growth and healing rather than seeking validation. Take the lessons from your family's struggles and use them to build a life that reflects your highest values and dreams. As you evolve, you may even inspire those around you to heal, though this is not your responsibility. The key is to live authentically and stay aligned with your truth, creating a ripple effect of transformation. In redefining freedom, you discover that your spiritual awakening is a gift not only for yourself, but for others who see your journey. The strength you gain from overcoming these trials equips you to shine brighter and to be a beacon for those still finding their way. So, embrace the weight you've carried, for it has shaped you into someone capable of creating profound change. This is your journey, and it's one of extraordinary purpose. Affirm it boldly. Comment below, "I am glowing." Let this be a daily reminder that you are walking in divine purpose, transformed from the inside out. 11. Impacting your family through transformation. Being born into a toxic family is often seen as an unfair burden. But when you truly explore it through the lens of spirituality and spiritual growth, it becomes clear that this experience is a profound gift. Toxicity within a family often reflects generational wounds and patterns that have remained unhealed for decades or even centuries. If you're a chosen one, your soul has taken on the incredible responsibility of breaking these cycles and bringing light into spaces filled with darkness. The process isn't easy. It requires courage, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to self-awareness and healing. When you embark on your journey of spiritual growth, you not only transform your own life, but your energy creates a ripple effect that touches the lives of those around you. This doesn't mean you're responsible for fixing anyone, but your healing serves as a mirror, showing others what's possible and inspiring them to seek their own liberation, even if they don't fully realize it at first. Consider this. In many families, toxicity is an unspoken language, passed down through habits, beliefs, and behaviors. Perhaps your family struggles with cycles of anger, shame, or fear. By choosing to break free, you become the disruptor, the one who refuses to carry forward the burdens that were never meant to be yours. This might make you feel isolated or misunderstood, especially when your efforts to grow spiritually clash with long-held family dynamics. But think of it like planting a seed in dry soil. At first, it may seem like nothing is happening, but as you continue to water it with love, patience, and consistency, transformation takes root. Your journey might inspire your sibling to seek therapy, encourage your parent to reflect on their past, or even help a younger family member see that a better way of living is possible. And even if they don't visibly change, your energy shifts the family dynamic in unseen but powerful ways. Let me share a story that might resonate. A young woman, raised in a family where criticism was the norm and encouragement was rare, began her path of spiritual growth after hitting rock bottom. Through mindfulness practices and learning about her own worth, she realized she didn't have to live under the shadow of her family's negativity. She set boundaries, refused to engage in toxic arguments, and focused on cultivating peace within herself. At first, her family mocked her efforts, calling her selfish for distancing herself. But over time, something remarkable happened. Her newfound confidence encouraged her sister to pursue her own healing journey, and even her parents began to soften their harsh words. They didn't completely transform, but the family dynamic shifted because one person had the courage to break the cycle. Could this be your role in your family? What legacy are you creating for future generations? Being born into a toxic family is not a curse, but an opportunity. It's an invitation to rise above pain, break free from inherited limitations, and lead others, whether directly or indirectly, toward their own spiritual growth. Every step you take toward your healing not only empowers you, but also plants seeds of change in the hearts of those around you. Embrace this responsibility not as a burden, but as a gift, because through your transformation, you're creating a ripple effect that could change the course of your family's story forever. How will you choose to shine your light in the face of darkness? The choice and the power is yours. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who might need these great values. Let's continue this conversation and go deeper into what these values really mean. 12. The chosen path. Have you ever wondered why your life feels like it started amidst chaos, surrounded by toxic relationships and heavy emotional burdens? It's not a punishment, it's a calling. As a chosen one, your spiritual wisdom was destined to illuminate even the darkest corners of human experience. You weren't born into a toxic family by accident. You were placed there with divine purpose. This challenging environment was the soil needed for your soul's growth, a space for you to transform generational pain into spiritual liberation. Think about it. Who better to break cycles of dysfunction than someone strong enough to endure them? Maya Angelou once said, "You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them." The very toxicity you were born into is the crucible in which your strength, compassion, and understanding were forged. When you face adversity, especially within your family, it forces you to develop resilience and self-awareness that most people never tap into. Toxic family dynamics often mirror generational wounds, unresolved pain passed down through the lineage. You, however, were chosen to stand as the cycle breaker, the one to bring healing to yourself and your bloodline. Have you ever stopped to consider how your struggles have made you more empathetic and spiritually attuned? Each confrontation, each moment of hurt, and every time you chose to rise above the chaos was a step toward becoming the beacon of light your family and the world desperately need. This is not just a burden, it's your spiritual mission. The pain you've endured may feel overwhelming, but ask yourself this: what if you were chosen because you have the strength to transform it into something beautiful? By confronting the toxicity, you're doing more than just healing yourself. You're creating a ripple effect of transformation that touches everyone around you, even those who may never fully understand your journey. Your spiritual wisdom isn't just for you. It's a gift meant to inspire and uplift others who are still lost in the darkness. Like Nelson Mandela said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." Your courage to confront and transcend toxic dynamics makes the impossible possible for others, even if they're unaware of your impact. Have you noticed that despite everything you've been through, you still have an unshakable inner light? That's because chosen ones possess a unique energy, a divine spark that cannot be extinguished. It's why your presence alone can disrupt the dysfunctional patterns in your family. Toxic individuals may resist your light, but that's only because they sense the power within you, a power they don't understand. Rather than shrinking to make others comfortable, consider how your resilience and spiritual wisdom can serve as a guide for others to find their own healing. So, why were you born into a toxic family? Because you are the answer to prayers whispered by your ancestors, the hope for a future free of the chains that bound them. Your path may be difficult, but it's also divinely guided. Now, I'll ask you this: how will you use the strength you've gained from your challenges to fulfill your higher purpose? The choice to rise, to heal, and to shine despite the odds is the ultimate testament to your power as a chosen one. Remember, the light you carry isn't just for you, it's for the world. Take that step forward, embrace your mission, and watch how your spiritual wisdom transforms not only your life, but the lives of countless others. If this message speaks to you, take it a step further and share it with someone who might need this reminder. Together, we can build connections rooted in honesty and respect. 13. Embracing your role. Understanding your birth into a toxic family requires a shift in perspective, seeing it not as a burden, but as a sacred gift. Your family, with all its flaws and dysfunctions, is the soil in which your spiritual roots have grown strong. Toxicity may have surrounded you, but it is through these very challenges that you've been equipped with the resilience, wisdom, and compassion that set you apart as a chosen one. The pain you've endured was not meant to break you. It was meant to awaken you to a higher spiritual calling, showing you the cycles that need to be broken and the wounds that need healing. This process of transcendence begins when you stop seeing yourself as a victim and start embracing the divine reason you were placed in that family. When you rise above the pain and refuse to perpetuate the toxic patterns you were born into, you fulfill a greater spiritual purpose. You are not just living for yourself, you are rewriting the story for generations to come. Imagine the legacy you're creating by choosing compassion over anger, forgiveness over resentment, and self-awareness over blame. By doing so, you illuminate a path for others to follow, showing that healing is possible even in the face of deep dysfunction. This is your spiritual awakening in action, a journey that transforms pain into power and turmoil into clarity. In modern life, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the toxicity we inherit. The stresses of daily life can magnify these challenges, making it tempting to repeat the patterns we grew up with. But as a chosen one, you're called to break free from these cycles and set a new standard of emotional and spiritual maturity. Instead of viewing your family as the source of your struggles, recognize them as the training ground for your soul. Each conflict has taught you a lesson. Each wound has strengthened your resolve. This awakening doesn't happen overnight, but with time and reflection, you'll see that the very experiences that hurt you the most have prepared you for your greatest purpose. As you navigate this spiritual awakening, remember that the toxic environment you were born into was the crucible for your transformation. Like gold refined by fire, you emerge stronger and more radiant, carrying the light of understanding and empathy. In choosing to rise, you not only heal yourself, but also inspire others to confront their own pain and embrace the possibility of change. Your journey becomes a testament to the power of love, courage, and the human spirit. The truth is, your family is both your challenge and your gift. Embracing your role as a chosen one means accepting the weight of this responsibility while understanding its divine purpose. You are not bound by the dysfunction you were born into. You are liberated by the spiritual awakening it sparked within you. By choosing to grow, heal, and love in spite of it all, you pave the way for a future defined not by pain, but by hope and transformation. In this video, we explored the profound reason why chosen ones are born into toxic families, and how these challenges are, in fact, a divine gift. By breaking generational cycles, healing deep wounds, and stepping into your true power, you have the unique opportunity to rewrite not only your destiny, but also the legacy of those who came before you. As you reflect on this journey, remember, you are not alone. Millions of chosen ones are walking this path with you, building a new world founded on love, compassion, and truth. Now, let's hear from you. What would your life look like if you fully embraced your role as a chosen one? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom for more empowering insights. Together, we rise. God isolates the chosen for 7 reasons that few understand. Have you ever heard the saying, "Sometimes God removes people from your life for your protection and doesn't run after them"? This profound truth resonates deeply with today's topic. Welcome to Spiritual Wisdom. If you've ever felt isolated, as though the world around you is shifting and you're left standing alone, know this: you are not being forgotten, you are being chosen. Isolation can feel lonely, but it is often God's way of preparing you for something extraordinary. In this video, we'll uncover the 7 reasons why God isolates His chosen ones. As you watch, reflect on your own journey and share your experiences in the comments below. Let's create a community of encouragement and growth, because this message could be exactly what someone needs to hear today. Are you ready for this journey? Let's go together. 1. Reason why God isolates the chosen: to protect you. The first reason God isolates the chosen is to protect them, a profound truth often misunderstood. As human beings, we naturally seek connection, approval, and the warmth of companionship, desiring to be part of groups that seem appealing or meaningful. Yet what we fail to perceive, God sees with clarity and foresight. His divine wisdom penetrates the facades of people and places that appear harmless but harbor negative intentions or harmful energies. God, in His infinite understanding, distances you from environments that could corrode your faith, derail your purpose, or jeopardize your mental and emotional well-being. What may feel like rejection is often His way of saying, "This is not for you. I have something greater." This perspective changes how we interpret moments of separation, reframing them as acts of spiritual safeguarding rather than losses. Not everyone who enters your life does so with pure intentions. Often, danger wears the mask of friendship, and those who seem welcoming may be sent to plant seeds of doubt or insecurity, subtly diverting you from the path God has laid out for you. These negative influences, though camouflaged, can lead to confusion and weaken your spiritual resolve. In His divine mercy, God steps in to remove these distractions, even when we resist or fail to understand. That sudden distance from a person, group, or opportunity, it's not a coincidence. God is acting as your shield, sparing you from battles you're not meant to fight. Isolation, though painful, becomes a powerful tool for reflection and spiritual growth. When you're set apart, you're given the sacred space to reconnect with yourself and with God. This separation is not a punishment, but a preparation for a time for you to examine what truly matters in your life, and to discern the relationships and environments that nurture your spiritual awakening. Trusting in divine protection requires faith, especially when the reasons for certain separations remain unclear. But remember, the path God has for you is always purposeful, even if it feels lonely at times. Through isolation, God creates space for better things to come. When you let go of what He removes, you open yourself up to new opportunities, relationships, and environments that align with your highest calling. Think of it as pruning, temporarily cutting away what no longer serves you to allow the fruits of your spiritual journey to grow. In today's fast-paced, connected world, the temptation to cling to every connection or opportunity is strong. But discernment is key. Take a step back, reflect, and trust that God's plan is working out perfectly, even when it seems like He's keeping you in the dark. Let this time of isolation be a time of preparation for the abundance that is coming, knowing that God's every move is for your ultimate good. Boldly affirm it by commenting below, "I am shining because the Spirit of God is within me." Let this be a daily reminder that you are walking in divine purpose, transformed from the inside out. 2. God is preparing you for something greater. The second reason why God isolates the chosen is profound. He is preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine. In His infinite wisdom, God often works behind the scenes, molding and refining you, so you are equipped to fulfill the unique purpose He has planned for your life. This preparation process is not always easy, but it is vital for your spiritual growth and the journey ahead. Think about David, one of the most well-known figures in biblical history. Though his victory over Goliath catapulted him into fame, his journey to the throne was anything but immediate or straightforward. He spent years in the wilderness, fleeing from Saul and navigating the challenges of leading difficult men. These trials were not punishments, but opportunities for God to refine his character, teach him resilience, and strengthen his faith. By the time David became king, he was not only a capable leader, but also a man deeply rooted in trust and reliance on God. You might feel like you're in a similar season of isolation, wondering why you are facing so many difficulties, or why certain doors remain closed. It's natural to feel frustrated or even question the process. But what if this season is a divine workshop, where God is chiseling away at what no longer serves you and placing within you the qualities necessary for your mission? Think of a master sculptor working on a block of marble. The process of chiseling may seem harsh, but it is only through this effort that the masterpiece emerges. This same principle applies to your spiritual journey. The setbacks, challenges, and periods of waiting are all part of the preparation that will enable you to step confidently into your purpose. To bring this into a modern perspective, consider the story of someone like Oprah Winfrey. Before becoming a global icon, she faced a series of rejections, hardships, and personal struggles. Each challenge prepared her to not only achieve her dreams, but to inspire millions with her story of perseverance and faith. Her isolation and trials were not roadblocks, but stepping stones to something greater. Now reflect on your own life. What challenges or seasons of waiting have you faced recently? Could they be part of God's way of preparing you for a higher calling? The key lesson here is to trust the process and embrace this season of growth. Instead of resisting the difficulties, lean into them, knowing they are shaping you into the person God created you to be. Spiritual growth often requires us to endure challenges that stretch our faith and strengthen our character. Remember, God is not just preparing you for a purpose, He is also preparing the purpose for you. Take comfort in the knowledge that nothing you're going through is wasted, and every step, no matter how difficult, is bringing you closer to the greatness you are destined for. So, what qualities is God refining in you right now? How can you use this time to deepen your faith and prepare for the incredible plans He has for your life? The answers to these questions may reveal the hidden treasures in this season of preparation. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. What is your perspective on the importance of this value? Share your insights, and let's continue this conversation. 3. God is empowering you. God isolates the chosen ones to empower them, and this empowerment often begins in solitude. Have you noticed how isolation tends to come with challenges that push you to your limits? These challenges are not random. They are part of a divine plan to prepare and teach you. During these moments, you start discovering strengths and abilities you never knew existed within you. Think about the story of David, who before becoming king was isolated and placed in situations that tested his character. Surrounded by men, society deemed outcasts, those struggling with their own battles David was called to lead. This wasn't a task for the faint of heart. It required patience, understanding, and an unwavering sense of purpose. Through this process, David not only learned to navigate the complexities of human weaknesses, but also gained the spiritual wisdom needed to unify and guide his followers toward greatness. His isolation was his preparation. In the same way, when God isolates you, it's not to abandon you, it's to elevate you. Isolation becomes a sacred classroom where patience, resilience, and faith are honed. These qualities are essential for the leadership roles God has in store for you. As you face rejection, criticism, and even moments of self-doubt, you are being molded into a vessel capable of withstanding the pressures of your divine calling. He who has a reason to live can bear almost any how, said Friedrich Nietzsche, and your why is being revealed through this process. Have you ever considered that your current struggle might be the training ground for the greater mission ahead? Every trial, every quiet moment of loneliness is designed to fortify your spirit and expand your wisdom so you can lead with grace and purpose. Ask yourself, how are you responding to this season of isolation? Are you resisting it, or are you leaning into the lessons God is teaching you? Remember, you are not just enduring these moments, you are being empowered. Like gold refined in fire, your challenges are burning away the impurities of doubt and fear, leaving behind a resilient and purpose-driven spirit. As you emerge from this period, you will find yourself equipped with the tools needed to not only overcome future obstacles, but also inspire others to do the same. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who might need these great values. Let's continue this conversation and go deeper into what these values really mean. Four to 6. Character building, spiritual renewal, and clarity of purpose. Isolation, especially for men navigating the complexities of modern life, is a tool God uses to build character, renew your spirit, and give you clarity of purpose. Think of the 40 days Jesus spent fasting in the wilderness, not as a time of abandonment, but as a period of preparation for his divine mission. Just as Jesus drew strength from his solitude, so too does your isolation offer an opportunity for spiritual awakening and growth. In today's chaotic world filled with endless distractions, time alone can strip away the noise, allowing you to focus solely on your connection with God. This isn't just a pause, it's a recalibration of your soul, a sacred time to align with God's will and discover His purpose for you. When the demands of work, family, and societal expectations press heavily on your shoulders, it's easy to lose sight of who you are and what you're called to do. But in moments of solitude, God removes these distractions, creating space for spiritual discipline to take root, for your faith to deepen, and for your path to become clear. This clarity isn't just about making good decisions. It's about aligning every fiber of your being with God's divine plan. Character building is another layer of this journey. God uses isolation to refine you, like a craftsman shaping clay or a blacksmith tempering steel. Every trial you face in solitude strengthens your resilience and sharpens your focus. It's in these quiet moments that you learn to rely on God's strength rather than your own, cultivating the spiritual discipline that sustains you in the face of life's storms. This process may feel uncomfortable, even painful, but it's necessary to prepare you for the great things God has in store. Spiritual renewal is also a cornerstone of this period of isolation. Just as a field needs time to rest before it can yield a bountiful harvest, your spirit requires seasons of stillness to rejuvenate and grow. In this sacred pause, you can lay down the burdens that weigh you down, the doubts that cloud your mind, and the fears that hold you back. God is not merely giving you rest, He is equipping you with the strength and clarity needed for the next chapter of your spiritual awakening. Clarity of purpose emerges as the ultimate gift of isolation. When you step away from the distractions of daily life, you begin to see the bigger picture, the divine tapestry that God is weaving with your life. This clarity empowers you to make decisions with confidence, knowing that they are rooted in God's wisdom and aligned with His plan. In modern life, where success is often measured by busyness and achievement, this clarity is a rare and precious gift. It allows you to move forward with intention, free from the noise and chaos that once clouded your vision. To all the men who are listening, take heart. If you find yourself in a time of isolation, don't fight it. Embrace it as a time of sacred preparation. Use it to develop spiritual discipline, to strengthen your relationship with God, and to gain the clarity and purpose you need to fulfill your calling. Remember, God isolates His chosen ones, not to punish them, but to prepare them for a destiny greater than they could ever imagine. Persevere, for your spiritual awakening is only just beginning, and the rewards of this journey will be worth every moment of solitude. Comment below. I persevere, and let's continue this journey together. 7. To elevate you. The seventh and final reason God isolates His chosen ones is profound: to elevate them. Before God lifts someone to their destined place, He first hides them. This concealment is not punishment, but preparation, a sacred process to mold and shape His chosen vessels. Take the story of Joseph as a powerful example. His isolation began with betrayal by his brothers, being thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, and later imprisoned. Each hardship was not a setback, but a setup for something far greater. When God's appointed time arrived, Joseph was elevated to govern Egypt, saving countless lives and fulfilling a divine purpose. This pattern is not unique to Joseph. It's the same principle at work when God hides you today. If you feel unseen or undervalued, it might just be the clearest indication that God is preparing to reveal you to the world. Think about the moments in life where everything seemed to come to a standstill. Maybe you've experienced loneliness or felt like your talents and contributions went unnoticed. But in the quiet, away from distractions and validations, God works on your heart and spirit. This time of isolation is not about rejection, it's about refinement. God strengthens your faith, teaches you resilience, and prepares you for responsibilities that align with your spiritual growth and purpose. Just as a seed is planted in the dark soil before it sprouts into the sunlight, your hidden season is essential for your blossoming. Does this resonate with you? Can you see how these moments of quiet might be shaping you for something greater? Consider the life of a diamond. It starts as an unremarkable piece of carbon, buried deep within the earth, subjected to intense heat and pressure. But it is this process that transforms it into something precious and dazzling. Your spiritual growth works the same way God isolates and refines you to uncover the brilliance within. Let's connect this to modern life. Have you ever heard the story of a young entrepreneur who struggled in obscurity, working long hours in isolation while the world doubted them? Only later, when their work finally surfaced, did people recognize the years of preparation and perseverance that led to their success. This isn't just a story for entrepreneurs, it's a truth for anyone on a spiritual journey. Your hidden seasons are God's way of ensuring that when He elevates you, you will not just rise, you will thrive. The lesson here is clear. Don't let isolation discourage you. Instead, embrace it as an essential part of your journey. Trust that God is preparing you for something extraordinary. He is not only shaping your abilities, but also building the spiritual strength you will need for the challenges ahead. Let this time refine your character and deepen your connection with Him. Remember, God's timing is perfect, and when He reveals you to the world, it will be undeniable that He is the one who elevated you. So, let me ask you, how can you use this time of isolation to grow in faith and trust that your elevation is on the horizon? Stay patient, stay faithful, and know that your time is coming. The world will see what God has been preparing in you all along, and His plan will always exceed your expectations. As we conclude, remember that moments of isolation are not the end, but a crucial part of your journey. Trust in God's plan and know that He is preparing you for something greater. Embrace this season with faith and declare, "I am chosen." Let this truth guide you as you move forward with strength and confidence, knowing that God's promises will unfold in His perfect timing. Share in the comments how you've experienced God's guidance during challenging times, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom for more insights to inspire your journey. The best is yet to come.